I'm Ina Elaine Rice, and I'm Julia's great-grandmother, and I'm 88 years old, and I'm living here in Woodcrest nursing home. Asked me about the house that I lived in when I was born. That's where I started from, of course, and it was in a little town in West Virginia, and we had four rooms, I'm sorry. It was 2 bedrooms, and a living room, a dining room, and of course the kitchen and bath, and we did have indoor plumbing, which was still in the start, really, because the church buildings and places like that still had the outdoor privy. And in a lot of houses we'd visit still had it too, but we were blessed to have that. And then my grandfather lived up the hill, or up to the little road there, and they had indoor plumbing. So I was blessed that way. And as far as I lived there until I was 5, and we moved out of there in a flood. Mother made a lot of my clothes, and they were always really pretty. She always dressed me real pretty every day before Daddy got home from work. And I can remember, well, I guess I saw pictures because I wouldn't remember these times, but beautiful little voile dresses and pretty things embroidered on them. And then as, of course, Mary Jane shoes and socks, white, everything was white shoes then. All babies wore white shoes, and most wore ankle-high ones. And I suppose I went through that, that time too, but I don't remember that much. A fur coat, it was kind of a gray fur coat and hat. Anyway, the clothes I remember the most were the Shirley Temple dresses. And I had a lot of those, or a lot. I didn't have money for a lot, but that's when she bought clothes. I have pictures of Shirley Temple dresses, and that's the dress that you see. I had the Shirley Temple doll, of course, later on. Worldwide news. I was born at home because of the Lindbergh kidnapping. Mother was afraid to go to the hospital because I assume he was kidnapped from the hospital. I've forgotten the details now. But then I remember the World War II when it started very well. And I think I was 7 when it started. And that made a lot of changes in all of our lives, of course, and has ever since. And we were, I think we were in it about 6 years, maybe. I can't remember now. Maybe not that long, but it seemed like forever. And I had 5 uncles who were in it, and they were all in the thick of it. And one came home with malaria, but outside that, the others all came through. And oh, my dolls are my favorite toys, always. My grandfather had a grocery store, and he would always get these prizes to give. You know, if you bought so much coffee, you'd get a premium, I guess they'd call it. And everything that he got, he would give to me. And he got this doll that was as big as I was. And so we'd walk up to Grandpa's store several evenings a week, I guess, and I'd drag that doll, and I knocked all her toes off. And I would just drag her. And so I kept her until Nancy, my daughter, was about 7 years old, and I had a lot of my dolls that I had kept because Mom and Dad had got me one of the first big dolls. Eileen and I woke up one Christmas morning. We had these beautiful big dolls sitting on little chairs, and hers was had dark hair, and mine had blonde hair, of course. And so we kept those. Eileen still has hers, and she has it with her, as a matter of fact. But I kept all those dolls in a box. Lee, who is on Barb's dresser now, I gave Lee to her, was my aunt's, and she had asked the guy who was advertising Lee overalls if she could have it when he was finished using it for an advertisement. And so it was always on her hearth. And when I'd go over there, I always wanted to play with Lee. And she kept him there until I got him. But anyway, she gave him to me when I was married. And I don't remember how many others, but those three especially I remember. I think there were about 7 or 8 of them in a big box. It's about the size of this table. And I thought, oh, Nancy's 7 now. She'll enjoy the dolls, and so we'll have a ceremony. And when I opened it, they had melted. All of them had, a lot of them had melted together. Oh, I was so brokenhearted. Because Daisy was my, the one I started out with the broken toes. And and then I think I still had my Betsy Wetsy, and if you look at Lee's head, you can go over Barb's and lift his cap. His head is cracked where he was cooked too.
So sad.
Yeah, oh, I was so brokenhearted. I had to throw all, well, back then I didn't even know there were doll hospitals.
I didn't know that there were.
I've wished so many times I had tried to keep them till I could take them to the hospital. I always loved my dolls, and I started designing clothes when I was about 9, I guess. Oh, I made a lot of clothes for the dolls, and then I made Barbie clothes after that. A lot of Barbie clothes.
Right. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think not. I've said enough.